I'd rather be a stoner that minds my business than someone downgrading a group of people that actually need it. Spit on you when I see you. What about all the people that actually need addiction recovery support? Do we spit on them too? We're going to have some fun today. In this video, I'm going to be reacting to some of my favorite haters on TikTok and YouTube, and I want to bring you guys along for my reaction. For a guy that focuses on helping people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content, substances that I once personally struggled with, I promise you I get my fair share of hate, and today we're going to shed some light on these haters and expose it. Let's jump right into these comments. This is one of my favorite comments of all time right here, and it reads, "Nobody cares anyways, show us your taint." Now, I didn't realize that there was actually an audience of people out there that were interested in seeing my taint. Had I known that there was interest in this, and now that I do know this, that I am aware, Dr. Frank might have to start his own OnlyFans page. But I'm going to warn you guys, the subscription is going to start at least $250 a month. I can't sell myself short on this. All right, the second comment is one of my other personal favorites. These first three are my top favorite comments. So this individual comments, "I'm about to light you up." And what they're referencing is a physical threat. They're about to light me up. I've had my fair share of death threats, especially when I first started on TikTok talking about, kind of THC addiction, and especially when it came to the vape industry. People were brutal in my DMs. Now, this guy said it publicly, but here's the best part. So I go to click on his profile, and this is what we pull up in the profile. This is the individual. We left his name out of it. He's a contemporary contrarian. He is a artisan and something else. Interesting looking guy, doesn't look like that harmful of an individual. The funny thing is, the video that he commented on was a video where I'm cutting my eggs with a knife that only Rambo would use to be chopping down trees in the center of Vietnam. Now, if I was going to threaten someone, it's just ironic that he chose it to be this video where I'm demonstrating my Rambo knife to cut my eggs. And I'll warn you something about a guy that uses a Rambo knife to cut his hard-boiled eggs. No one says it better than Walter.
Not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot. You think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
All right, all jokes aside, I would never hurt a fly, but really I would defend myself if I had to. Okay, James comments, "You're not a doctor, but you call yourself a doctor." Well, okay, this is one of the biggest misunderstandings, and I just can't believe that people don't comprehend this. So I have a doctorate in chiropractic, but now, low back pain from doing laundry, I have a quick tip for you. And then reaching in. A lot of people do this twist and turn, and that causes a lot of low back pain problems. I'm not limited to just that one degree, just that one education. I am also a New York State licensed addiction recovery coach, and that is just one of 3 addiction recovery coaching licensing and certifications that I hold when it comes to being an addiction recovery coach. Now, just because someone's an MD doesn't mean anything. They might have absolutely zero interest in addiction. And many MDs, unless they choose to specialize in addiction and go get future education on addiction recovery, they know very little about it. Right? You can have a doctor who's a PhD in social work. You can have a doctor who's a PhD or a doctorate in psychology, a doctorate of psychology. It doesn't matter. All doctor means is that you're an expert in that field of study. I started with chiropractic, and then I further developed my education. You guys, I'm going to blow your minds, but you can do more than one thing in life, and that's awesome. So check this one out here. You have no idea what you're talking about. Zero experience with vapes or drugs that matter. So this was commented on a video where I was talking about weed withdrawal. So apparently weed doesn't matter. 2, this person doesn't know me. Obviously, I vaped, I chewed tobacco, I had a brief stint with cigarettes. When I was 16, I was chiefing cigars like no other, right? Like I'd buy them from some guy at the local coffee shop. I've had plenty of experience, but this is a common tactic that people who are suffering from addiction will use to try and discredit someone. Although I do have experience with substance abuse, my personal struggles, someone doesn't necessarily need to have experience to be educated on the topic and to be able to help. Many people who have helped me never struggled with substance abuse. Some of my biggest help came from my business mentors and my business coaches, people who never truly struggled with addictions that I did. So this is a common tactic used by those who are addicted to discredit someone. Now, unfortunately, I have had plenty of experience, but on a fortunate note, I do think it does help relate to you guys in this community. Oh, this one's funny. So basically, I ask on my channel, I'll give a point where I say, hey, donate to the Venmo, join the channel, sign up for a one-on-one session, and I say, quit with this free course. This comment reads, quit D's. And for those of you that aren't familiar with what D's are, D-E-E-Z, they're referencing their nutsack. Quit D's nuts, homie. That's what they're telling me. The other person said kindly, I'll donate you a middle finger. Okay, very good. Now, this was a TikTok comment, and I get a lot of this, especially from the 420 community. Sorry you hate weed and think it's an addiction instead of learning more about it. Well, I don't think it's an addiction. I was clinically addicted to weed, physically and psychologically. Maybe it's because you have a whole ass endocannabinoid system that uses it. Where did you study medicine? Seems more like opinionated than factual. Well, the video I made was my opinion on weed addiction, so it was opinionated. And secondly, Google could show you the statistics when it comes to THC addiction. It's a recognized disorder clinically by both in the DSM-5 codes and by the CDC. Now, on top of that, he says, you're a chiropractor. No wonder you don't know anything about the ECS. I have an entire podcast with a large cannabis company where I educate people about the ECS. Many of you guys don't even know that about me because I don't cross those two things over. Now, on top of it, this is what drives me nuts about this comment. People say you have an entire endocannabinoid system that impacts almost every aspect of your physical health. How can you not get addicted to something that has the ability to impact almost every aspect of your physical health? You can't have physical benefits of cannabis without having potential physical consequences. It is impossible. You can't say, oh, Dr. Frank, it only has benefits. Weed is medicine. It is medicine. And like any other medicine out there, there's potential consequences. These people typically contradict themselves, just like this person did, all in the same sentence. Okay. Vape companies do not advertise or target children. The anti-vape groups, pretending to be me, who want people to smoke, referencing cigarettes, do that with their anti-vape ads. So this person is implying that I actually want people to smoke cigarettes and that I don't want people to quit vaping. And then they're also saying that vape never targeted targeted teens. Jesus. Okay, so this is complete BS. Juul was sued for millions of dollars for targeting teens. They literally went to summer camps with kids, young teenagers, kids, and put on presentations. They also did this in very low income school districts. And I'm not pulling that out of my butt. You can search the lawsuits. Just type in Juul school lawsuit. I think it was Lakeland County or Lakewood County that started the first lawsuit, but there was several. They paid out millions of dollars, man. This isn't my opinion. All right. This person says, you get addicted because you're a junkie with an addictive personality. This is in reference to one of my THC videos. You didn't respect the weed or use it in the right way. Therefore, of course, you hit a rock bottom. There are people out there, believe it or not, who actually use it for its benefits towards themselves. And they heal all kinds of different things with pot. I understand that. I acknowledge that all the time. Maybe not on my channel where I teach people about quitting the addiction, but I never said it doesn't have benefits. I never said cannabis doesn't help people. When people watch my videos that are guarded or standoffish, they immediately jump to that I'm demonizing cannabis. And if you listen to my content, I'm really not. Yeah, I do bash Delta 8. I did bash THC acetate, and with good reason. But I don't demonize cannabis. I give input for those looking to quit. And I like, you're addicted because you're a junkie. Very respectful. That looks good on the 420 community's part. I love this one. RX Legend comments, don't tell me about my addiction. I'll tell myself about it when I'm ready to hear it. Why did you click on my video, bro? Like, why are you watching my channel? I didn't force you to watch this video. I didn't force you to sit here and watch this. You chose to. And if you're watching my video, chances are you were searching for something related to quitting, because all my videos are search engine optimized to help people quit. And I never tell someone, one thing I promise you, if you ever do a one-on-one session with me, I'm not going to tell you to quit, and I'm not going to tell you how to quit. I'm going to help you come up with a plan to develop whatever it is you're trying to achieve when it comes to your relationship with nicotine, THC, energy drinks, or adult media content. Blasphemous that they left a comment like this. Ryan says, this is the stupidest thing I've ever watched. As long as you go with a trusted brand of Delta 8, you're fine. It's perfect for people who want to get high without getting obliterated or paranoid. So we are acknowledging side effects. There's lots of reputable Delta 8 sources out there. If something bad would have happened, someone would have said something by now. First of all, tons of people who commented on my Delta 8 video did have horrible experiences. My entire video was about someone having a bad reaction to Delta 8 right off the bat. Secondly, it took the FDA 40 years to acknowledge that smoking cigarettes was a bad idea. The amount of unregulated Delta 8 products and the amount of people that call my offices because of bad reactions and not knowing what to do next is unreal. That and CHS is probably the top reasons people call my office. So I'm happy that this person has so much faith in the FDA, but based on the FDA's track record with things, it usually takes them a little while to figure it out. And I'm saying this as someone who's a fan of Delta 8. I just think all the gas station brand Delta 8 is a bad thing. Dude, William says, did he just say greening out lasts a day or two? I'm 16 and I've smoked so much effing weed, and even I know that this guy is spewing some effing bull. William knows, and he's 16. He has wisdom that I have yet to obtain in my 32 years of life. Thank you for sharing that and shedding some light on the lies, William. It's like he's proud he greened out too. Dude, I smoke so much effing weed, I've greened out. Greg, don't trust this guy. I'm not a supporter of Delta 10 either. It's a bunk product, so he kind of agrees with me. But this guy here doesn't understand anything about pharmacology cannabis, and especially not addiction. About the pharmacology of cannabis. Lots of times people will throw words at me because they know I can't spell. And they know they think I have a speech impediment. I don't know if I actually do. That's another thing people make fun of a lot. Don't think that big words are going to confuse Dr. Frank. And don't think that they're going to make you look any smarter than me. Higher learning. This guy is making a video in his car. I don't know if I would take any advice from him. Well, higher learning, why don't you make better videos of you not in your car educating people about nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and cannabis then? You have the same opportunity to do it, and you don't need to take my advice. Block my channel. L and alone. Something. This guy don't understand the diff between opioids and cannabinoids. It's funny. Like, yeah, drugs can F you up regardless. But damn, this is like comparing riding a bike versus flying a jumbo jet. Just uncomparable. Okay. Addiction is addiction. Alcohol can ruin someone's life. Cannabis, CHS can ruin someone's life. Opioids can ruin someone's life. Drugs and drug addiction, it doesn't matter what it's to. Porn addiction can ruin someone's life in the same way opioids can. You lose your relationships, you lose your money, you lose your family, you lose your friends, you lose your physical health, you lose your mental health. The side effects of addiction might be slightly different from substance to substance, but the consequences are the same. Wonder if this guy is just wanting to show some pictures of his arms and his girlfriend doing expensive shit. Not really, but I do like motivating people, and I do like showing people that there's another side to addiction, that there is a success story out there. And that's exactly what we have here in this community. We have success stories. Brandon, this guy is delusional. You failed to specify that the substance itself isn't dangerous and is only dangerous in general when you buy from places you shouldn't. If you buy from someone who makes the products properly, you have nothing to worry about. It's not remotely addictive in comparison to nicotine or caffeine. You're right. It's not as addictive. You're absolutely right. I fully agree with you. But I have every right to talk about my experience and help other people quit who are having the same bad experience. Stike BKS, do you not realize you're the only guy who says all this? Find another subject. This is not working for you. Well, my 350,000 followers on TikTok and my 100 follower a day growing YouTube channel would disagree with you. I think it's working just fine. I consider myself to be quite novel, sir, and I'm proud of my novel ideas. You have videos like this already, says Marty Guy. What's the difference? I don't care about the algorithm on YouTube or in life. I think he's trying to be philosophical, but I don't know. So where is this different? I don't know, man. For a lot of people, when it comes to addiction recovery, it's hearing the same thing over and over again until you finally get it. I had to hear the same thing for 8 years of my addiction journey before I finally listened and understood. So yeah, a lot of this stuff is repetitive and with good reason. I don't need to tell you something different. What you need to do is start understanding and paying attention to the things that I repeat over and over and over again. And that goes for anyone watching this channel. Why are you forcing people, says Sander Edits. I'm not forcing anyone. You chose to watch the video. I'm not standing in your house with a gun to your head telling you to go watch Addiction Mindset YouTube channels. Duh. I'd rather be a stoner that minds my business than someone downgrading a group of people that actually need it. Spit on you when I see you. What about all the people that actually need addiction recovery support? Do we spit on them too? This is the 420 community at their finest. I will say this individual did come back to apologize later after they smoked some weed and calmed down. Can we stop pretending weed or THC is addictive? Your body does not need to develop a physical dependence on it. Right, but your body develops a dramatic physical benefit when you have health conditions that can be, blatantly almost borderline cured or very well controlled by cannabis. How can you tell me that you can't have physical consequences? You can't. The only thing you broke is the ugly scale, says Aaron. That hits home. It hurts. LTD says, you've probably never even smoked, LOL. Why spend the time to send me a DM like that? Like, did you feel like you just did something there when you sent that DM? Like, not to be rude, but you don't look that healthy, Dr. Frank, says Alpha. Why would anyone want to listen to you? I don't know. Maybe some people find me attractive. The guy earlier in my video wanted to see my taint. I've always hated you, but I now hate to admit it. I'm forced to quit for 2.5 months and I need your help. I'm so sorry, not gonna lie. I got suspended from school until April 1st, and if I don't get this fixed, I'm not allowed to graduate. I feel bad for this person, and I like their honesty. I understand why people hate me when they first see me. I'm challenging a big part of their lives, an important part of their lives. So I get it. I get it. That's why my company logo is a hyena. It represents the beast, the addictive voice that lives inside of you. I get it. Addiction has teeth, and I expect it to bite back. I'd like to clear one thing up. You can't be addicted to cannabis, but you can be dependent upon it, not addicted. Addicted to a substance means you have a bodily reaction when you quit, like being severely sick, like you would with hard drugs, like painkillers. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. If you quit a substance and you have mild insomnia, mild headache, mild hunger changes, mild irritability, those are physical withdrawal symptoms. You probably had an addiction. Just like when someone quits drinking coffee, just like when someone quits social media content, when they quit watching porn. The severity of your symptoms do not define addiction. This is completely false and completely inaccurate. And that's why I make these videos, to educate others. And of course, the last one, the most commonly resounding comment on my channel: you can't be addicted to cannabis. You choose to do it because there are no side effects. But Tylenol, coffee, and water is more dangerous. I think we could argue about Tylenol and coffee and say, yeah, very well could be, especially Tylenol. But water is literally an essential part of your life. Like, you'll die if you don't drink water. You will straight up die. I'm not dying by not consuming cannabis. In fact, I'm thriving. I'm not saying there's not a place for it, but what? Come on, man. Guys, I hope you had fun with this video. I'm going to make another one soon where I'm reacting to some of the best love comments and some of the best success stories that we've seen on this channel to date. And that's definitely something I want you guys to subscribe and hang around for, because it's going to be quite motivating. I'll see you in future videos.